So today we're going to be doing an activity called Modify the Mona Lisa. And it is kind of a fun activity. It should be pretty quick as well. And you'll get a chance to practice developing your graffiti style a little bit further. But before we get started, I know this unit we've talked a little bit about the origin of graffiti. So graffiti is really very old. It's been done for thousands and thousands of years. But one thing we didn't touch on was that graffiti wasn't always just done on a cave wall or someplace where it was intended to be done originally, a really long time ago, and humans started doing it. Sometimes the graffiti was on art or monuments or even, beautiful pieces of architecture. And there are a couple examples here in this slide. So the example on the left is an example of Viking graffiti done on the Hagia Sophia, which is a beautiful piece of architecture found in Istanbul, in Turkey. I've actually been there. It's really gorgeous. And the Vikings were obviously around a long time ago. So this Viking graffiti is really quite old, done on a beautiful building. The example on the right is an example of Roman graffiti that was done on the pyramids in Egypt. So when they were constructing those, they didn't necessarily intend that graffiti to be there, but people put it there. Luckily, we're going to be practicing graffiti today using our digital tools, which is going to allow us to alter images, put graffiti on them without breaking the law or damaging the original artworks. So many of you may recognize this image. This is the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. One of the most famous paintings in the world. People flock from all over the world to see it. It's actually, if you do get an opportunity to travel abroad and see it, it's actually quite small. And people are generally in a huge group around it. It's behind glass. You can see, I think, a better picture of it online, actually, but it is fantastic to see in person as well. Artists throughout history have copied it, created their own versions of it, and I'm going to show you some example of how some artists have modified it using kind of a graffiti, meaning making markings on top of the original digital image, well, the digital image, not the original painting, which is essentially digital graffiti, and they've changed it. So this is kind of a fun one. You can see it's the, it's the painting, a photo of the painting. But in the background, there's the blue lines, paint drips, and this artist has made an addition of a bubble, like a bubble gum, which is kind of fun. On some of these examples, you can see the original digital photo of the painting was changed quite a bit. This one on the left, the artist added a ton to it. On the right, it's a little bit, it's a little bit more minimal what they added, but everything is reflective of the artist's style, and so they're done differently. Here's a couple more examples. The image on the right with the mask is kind of timely. So today I am going to give you some examples of really well-known works of art, and you can go ahead and take a screenshot or save the image and go ahead and add your own digital graffiti on top of it. Change the image in a way that you think is interesting and visually stimulating. So far in this unit, this graffiti unit, we've practiced doing graffiti lettering. We've practiced doing either the bunny or another graffiti version of a figure or an image. And you all have been developing kind of your own unique styles for your graffiti. And I want you to think about that when you choose to make your marks on these digital photos as well. So keep in mind the style that you have been working on. So a couple famous paintings here. The Waves, a lot of you probably recognize. Also the painting on the right, American Gothic, probably recognize that as well. These are all very well-known paintings. You can use any one of these. You don't have to do all of them. Just pick one. Starry Night, The Scream, and you are able to use the Mona Lisa here, or on the left, it's actually a three-dimensional, the original piece of art is a three-dimensional piece of art. It's a sculpture of Apollo, marble sculpture of Apollo. I would like to say that if you have another well-known piece of art that you would like to modify or add digital graffiti to, I don't want you to be limited by these images. You can go ahead and add your own image and then modify that if that's what you are choosing to do. And then when you are done, go ahead and post it to our class Padlet, which will be linked below. And I can't wait to see what you come up with. All right.